Oh, and we're live. Both of us are live.
Both of us are live. Hello. Hello.
It's Christmas. Does it feel like it though?
Christmas.
Does it feel like Christmas?
Does now. Look, my waistcoat says it's Christmas.
That's very festive. Very festive.
I've got my festive red t-shirt on as well.
He certainly has. Yeah. What's on the t-shirt?
Mask is the mighty power that will save the day.
Very, very cool.
See, it's all a propos. It's all a propos. It's all very good. Almost as if some vague thought had gone into it, although it hadn't really. It just happened to vaguely match. So there we go.
Please do excuse me if I break into a coughing fit tonight, ladies and gentlemen. For over a week now, I've been suffering with some kind of death bug that one of my children brought home from school with them.
Horrible
little creatures.
I've been on the train all week, and I swear to God, there was it was like Typhoid Mary on the train, constantly coughing and snotting and coughing for like 35 minutes. I'm like, go home, go to bed, have a lemsip, don't infect me on the same train as me. Just don't.
Yeah. I've been in that kind of position. It's like, you know what? I'd really like to take time off and relax and nurse myself back to health, but I run a toy shop and it's Christmas. This is the one time of year I cannot close.
Yes.
Hello, Gareth, and hello, Joe. How are you both?
Dave and Joe and Josh.
Oh, we got a Josh. Let's summon the council. Well, we're here. So Eddie may be joining us lately, but he's not here just yet. Hello, Josh. Oh, there's more chattier than what I was expecting. You mean the cartoon one? I've seen all of the Lord of the Rings movies, if that's what you're talking about. Yeah, I think Joe's probably talking about that new cartoon, War of the Rohirrim. I've not seen it. Disco Transformers, I like it. Disco Night, the Cosmic Council. Is that the first time you've seen the intro? We've been using it for about 6 months now, haven't we? Dave's here. Dave, I've yet to catch up on your latest live stream with Lee. I'm very sorry, I missed it.
I was there, at least for the most part. I was trying to remember how to play Elite Dangerous at the same time, so I was slightly distracted, I must admit, but I did tell them that.
Right. No offense, but I did start watching that video this morning that you've put up. It's the video game. Boring. And after 5 minutes and the screen was still the same, I was like, yes, this isn't for me.
No, it's completely and utterly unedited. I literally just uploaded it because I was in that frame of mind at that point. I tried to edit it, then I realized that if I edited it, I'd probably get a big banner across the middle of it with my software because it's quite high resolution. Okay. So I'll mess around with it at some point, but I just slapped it up basically.
Okay. Apparently, this new Lord of the Rings cartoon is going down well.
Cool.
Gareth, where's your girly man assistant? My girly man assistant. I didn't realize I had a girly man assistant. I don't know if I get a girly man. If you know of any girly man assistants, will you send them my way? Because I could do with some assistance.
I think he's referring to your cosmic toy man. I hate to tell you.
Oh, is he girly? Is he girly? I'm not really.
I think his voice is a little indeterminate at times. Shall we say?
Yeah, there are moments. That's the AI aspect. Is that? Yeah. Hello, Ben. How are you, sir? Yeah, there's if there's like a prolonged vowel, it just kind of goes. Apart from this bug I'm trying to shift, I'm not too. What are the words he says? I'm not too shabby, boss.
Not too shabby, boss.
Not too shabby, boss. Yeah.
The Mutant Lizard Army is represented.
What do you think of your... Oh, Joe did share me some starships. I don't think that they were your creations, though, Joe. I think that you've pulled them off Google because some of them even had watermarks on them. That's where I can get in trouble, so I don't think I'll be using them.
When I figure out how to do my external camera on Elite Dangerous again, I can do some shots of a starship of your choice.
Oh, excellent.
I've got moderately deep pockets on Elite Dangerous. I can buy most ships.
Martin's with us. Hello. Yes, Gareth, this is one of those rare occasions I'm awake for your show. What time is it there, then? What time is it there? Oh, no, Rum's here. Hello, Rum, how are you?
Told you he was. Said Mutant Lizard Army was here. That's it. He has arrived.
No need to apologise. No, I want to. I try and tune in. And if I will catch up on it. Usually what I do when I'm catching up on people's live streams or videos that I've missed, I'll have them running while I'm at work. So I'll be sat at the computer, listing stuff on the website and whatnot, running in front of me. Well, this week I've not had time to sit down and work on the website because it's the run up to Christmas and people keep demanding my attention at the desk.
Now, can I put a thing? I can show something, can't I? Now, is Phil's icon? What is that? Is that a Zoid icon, or is that something else?
No, that's a TARDIS. That's the police box. Is that?
No, I know the avatar is, but the next is Atkin. Next to his surname, what's that round icon? Can you see?
I think that means that he's a channel member.
Oh, is that all it means?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought it was something different.
No, he's one of the YouTube channel members. So there'll be one next to Josh, and there it is.
Oh, so it is, yeah.
Yeah.
I just never sort of resolved that before. It was just because his name was in green. It was drawing my eye. So
yeah, again, that's a channel member thing. The green means channel member. The only reason Josh's doesn't show up green we're talking about things that's behind the scenes here, guys. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry. My fault. My bad.
Because he's got a spanner.
Yeah. Got you.
Merry Christmas to all, or Happy Christmas. My action figure assistant is talking about, Mind the Gap. He's all good on the Western Front. Very good. I cannot draw. Fair enough. Monkey Lizard Army. There we go.
That's in Mutant Lizard Army.
Pardon?
I substituted mutant for monkey. Sorry.
Oh, did you? You thought it was Mutant Lizard Army? Well, why not? I got one more Science Space Pod. Excellent. That space pod went right over my head.
Is that a Dragon Ball Z reference?
So
Saiyan. Is it Saiyan?
I think so, yeah.
Type that in.
Right, there we go. I think I'm caught up on the chat. Wow. Right.
Oh, yes.
Now I've caught up. We can say goodnight and wish you all a very Merry Christmas, and we're off. Bye-bye. Oh, yeah. What did I mention about talking today?
I've no idea.
Literally, it was just a case of what happened to the must-have Christmas toys. I wanted to have at least one topic that was on theme for Christmas, yeah? Fair enough. I suppose it's quite a negative one, really, but it used to be a case of every year there was something that was the must-have toy. If it wasn't Teletubbies, then it was Buzz Lightyear. If it wasn't Buzz Lightyear, then it was a T-Rex from Jurassic Park, or there was always that one thing, wasn't there, that everyone chased down, they were fighting in the aisles for. When did that go away?
Well, I think the problem is that there's now such a wide variety of things that people could go for. It's probably very difficult for one thing to actually dominate in that sense. I mean, you think sort of Tracy Island.
Yeah, that's another one.
Like humongous thing that everyone wanted on that particular year. But nowadays it could just be a game. So you're not going to get that. You're not going to get that same sort of draw of just one sort of killer thing that's coming out. I'm trying to think what else there's even been recently at Christmas. Because I was getting stuff for my lad, often what he wanted was sort of driven by like a Netflix show or something. Yeah. So it didn't necessarily have a huge viewership, but obviously they'd done the merchandise tie-in, so he just wanted that thing. Because I got him the Voltron Lions from the modern CGI show, and he played with them for about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
They were not easy to get into this country. I'll tell you, because I did manage to get them, but it wasn't easy. And just sort of there and gone again. I mean, so much of this must end up in landfill when some kids played with it for 30 seconds, broken it, and then it's yesterday's thing. The kids just want it for sort of bragging rights as much as anything else, don't they? I think often.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's a really good shout. Is that actually? Excuse me. There was something that my nephew is only 4. I mean, he might have just turned 5. It was his birthday earlier this year. There's something that he'd wanted last Christmas and they couldn't get, and he still wanted it.
Yeah, that's nice.
And that was a Megazord, and it was for a series. I think it's the most recent Power Rangers series that has been translated into Power Rangers, because obviously they're all Super Sentai, aren't they, in Japan?
Yeah.
Well, it seems like they've stopped doing sort of like every series now, as they're not all getting changed into turned into Power Rangers. And the more recent one, it's actually Netflix that's had it done.
Ah, interesting.
And it's called, and I'm not using this because the name is cool, Cosmic Fury, it's called.
Cosmic Fury.
Power Rangers Cosmic Fury. And he was after the Megazord from that. Now, because it's not had a TV thing, they haven't bothered bringing the merchandise over.
No.
So he's wanting this toy. He's got all the other Megazords for all the series that he's watched. And he wanted this one, but they've never brought it over because it's not had a proper release. It's just had a Netflix airing. And as you quite rightly say, put stuff on Netflix, it's done within 3 weeks, isn't it? People watch it, they binge it, and by the time the merch hits the shelves, they're not into it anymore.
But knowing me, I probably find it 2 years later. So,
so they've not brought it over. Anyway, while I was scrolling through this place where I get all my Japanese stuff from, I saw it. Is that the one? Is that it? One? So I ordered it and I sent a picture to his dad. And he said, yeah, this is the one. He says, but we found it on eBay. He said, but they're just so damned expensive. And I went, oh, yeah, I've seen the price. Yeah, never mind then, never mind. So he got that for his birthday from me. And I've never seen such an excited child before. He was over the moon with it.
Excellent. That's nice.
And what I didn't realise, and his mum and dad didn't realise, is that there's another Megazord in the series where they can interchange and combine, and like they do.
Of course. Yeah. Yes.
And it's on the back of the box, isn't it?
Oh,
yes.
Well played, the toy company. Well played.
Yes. So as soon as he opened it up, he's like, "Oh my god, this is amazing! How did you know? How did you know? This is great!" And then there's another one.
Santa.
And I just looked at his mum and dad, and I just went, "I am so sorry." But literally 2 days later, guess what I ordered for him for Christmas? So it did actually pop up. So,
dues.
But I think that could be a good reason as to why you don't get that thing anymore, because everything is, for the most part, such a flash in the pan. It comes out, everyone binge watches it, and then it's done. And they've moved on to something else.
But it's I guess it's kind of inevitable, because assuming that the adults had sufficient funds and they got enough in at the right time, everyone's then got one. So obviously demand's going to drop off because no one needs one anymore. So it's kind of, that's it, game over, isn't it? So it is kind of predictable trend, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Dave says, I think that might be having so much media available on demand mean that people aren't all caught up in the same thing. I mean, no, definitely.
That's a really, really interesting one, I find when I think about this these days, because you think about the sheer number of hours that are now on Netflix of entertainment of any given variety. You'd probably never live long enough to watch it all.
Mm-hmm.
And no
Amazon
one
Prime, Disney Plus,
and so on and so forth. It's just multiplied.
But
the rate of production must now be astronomical. All the different production companies producing stuff to satisfy the streaming markets. And the odds of people watching exactly the same thing at the same time, maybe on first release, yeah, but the whole point is it's just sat there waiting for you to stream it.
Mm-hmm.
So, there is
Mr. B, hello.
There's no guarantee that anything is going to get that sort of critical momentum at exactly the same time as anything else. And it's like you say about the Japanese places stocking this stuff. It's like in Japan, nothing ever seems to really die in toy form. Because you can still get Thunderbirds and stuff in Japan, like all the time, and we wouldn't get a sniff of it in this country. Unless there was some sort of Thunderbirds revival or an anniversary or something of it, maybe. But then you'd probably only find it in the Jerry Anderson store online or something. So you have to go specialist to get the stuff that you're interested in.
Yeah.
Because in fact, good example of this actually.
That's more than a few years ago, Joe. That's an awful long time ago. Is that one? That's 90s, mate. That's 90s.
So. I remember my lad came across a show called Hot Wheels Battle Force 5, and he was quite little at the time, and I think we must have found it on YouTube or something. And the toys were still relevant, but they were actually coming to the end of their life on the shelves. So it actually became very hard to find him the full set of toys, and I had to go on eBay then to try and find all the sort of the main vehicle toys. So even sort of like 10 odd years ago now, the timelines for things were shrinking a lot because they shift onto YouTube even as a streaming service, and then of course when you merchandise them. I like Battle Force 5. I thought it was a really good show actually. I had a bit of there was one of those good cartoons where they actually had a bit of a storyline behind the cartoon whilst also pushing the toys.
Mm-hmm.
The actual storyline didn't make a vague amount of sense, so fair dues to them. But yeah, it was just one of those interesting ones where I just had to go chasing stuff down for him. But to his child mind, he saw it on the telly, therefore he wanted it. So and it's like, well, as an adult, that then leaves you kind of flummoxed if it's not in the toy shop at the same time. And of course, they could literally find anything at any point in time on YouTube, and kind of expect to be able to get it. So there is a sort of sub-market almost there, as your Emporium undoubtedly finds at times, where people have just come across something and their kid wants it, and you've got it because no other stores would be stocking it currently. I don't know how often you've come across that, but
it does happen quite frequently.
Okay.
Yeah. Usually, those parents as well are quite understanding in the fact that their kids after something pretty obscure. What's mental though is when some of the parents are angry at you for not having something that's really obscure. It's like, it's your fault as a toy shop. You should have this in stock. But nobody has ever asked for that in the 18 years that I don't care. You should have it.
Crazy.
People are strange.
But as I say, I mean, you wind back time. So, if I go back sort of, I don't know, 35, 40 years, all we had was B1, B2, ITV, a bit of Channel 4, probably not even Channel 5 necessarily. So in terms of what was being thrown at us on the TV, very little choice. So very, very relatively few options to actually, put cartoons in front of kids. So more perhaps when Sky started becoming a thing as well.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, relatively limited variety. And I think that's why we saw comics being used as a channel so much as well.
Dave, you've got every right, mate. I was advertising the fact that I had it.
You don't even get into this shop, Dave.
He actually ordered a turtle off me last week, and when I went to pack it, I couldn't find it. I've sold it, obviously, and not taken it off the website. And I was like, oh, no. So I do apologise for that, Dave. We had cheesy toy ads, yes. But yeah. Yes.
Which are recycled in this the intro of this very channel, of course.
Yes. Do not make him angry, he will turn green. Well, that's because I'm wicked. Yeah, some of the shops do seem to think that's going to be the one this year. I'm not convinced. I actually think they've sold more of those toys because, as Joe points out, there was a wrong link on them.
And those versions could be worth more down the line, I dare say.
Well, you know what? If anything, I think it'll be the other way around.
Oh, do you think?
Yeah, because they've not done a recall on them.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, so because they haven't done a recall on them and they've just put a blanket apology statement out.
Interesting.
Some stores have taken them off and they might obscure, they might put a label over it or they might cross it out or something like that.
Yeah.
But for the most part, collectors have gone out and bought them up, hoping that they're going to earn something.
Yeah.
So there's going to be plenty of them in 20 years' time with that writing on the box.
Garage is full of wicked dolls.
And it's the later ones that are going to have the correct ones on. So essentially, your last 17, if we were to use a Star Wars terminology, that's going to have that correct branding or correct website.
Yeah. See the logic.
And they're the ones that kids are going to be opening and throwing the boxes away of.
I think we need to catch up on chat a bit, don't we?
Who's Glinda? Do you mean Glinda? Glinda? Glinda.
I haven't seen it.
I'm Glinda. I'm a good witch. Why, thank you very much.
I think you're supposed to watch the musical first or something.
I beg your pardon?
Are we supposed to watch the musical first or something? There's a musical, isn't there?
I can't cope with musicals. I think the Sonic 3 toys are really cool, looking, and I'm proper excited for the movie. The trailer looks fine for it. I don't know how they've made the previous 2 Sonic films. They are far better than they have any right being.
Well, the thing is, but they've got Dewdar in it, haven't they? Is it? I don't mean Carey, is it? It's Jim Carrey, isn't it? And he's Robotnik, isn't he?
Yeah, the item is still on his website. Well, it's not on the website because Dave bought it off the website, so it's no longer on there. So thanks very much, Dave.
And haven't they got Keanu Reeves in this one as well?
Yeah, he's playing Shadow.
Oh, I see. He's playing one of the hogs, right?
Yeah,
they are. I don't even know how I know that Shadow is a hedgehog, but I've seen the trailer with 3 of them in it, so I figured it's not the one I know, and it's not the other one I know. It must be.
There's 4 technically, isn't there? Because you've got Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Shadow.
Yeah, and Shadow.
So yeah, there's 4 of them this time round. Joe's off to see it on Saturday. Richard says, "Hi chat, just got a message to ask me to become a member. Maybe some cross streams. Sure, I'll resolve it later." That's interesting because you are a member. Unless you've got a message to ask you to become a member on Andy's channel.
I don't have memberships on mine, so.
Oh, do you not? All right, okay.
No.
Oh, fair enough.
I'm not organised enough to require people to have memberships or anything.
Fair enough. It's something I might dump, to be honest with you. It's. Yeah, I might dump it. We'll see. Nice one. In fact, I've just realised, Richard, I never sent you the link this time round, did I, this week? I apologise for that. Yeah. He doesn't do WhatsApp, so he's not in the members group.
Right.
So I have to send him the link separately, and I have forgotten.
With you.
So
yeah.
I do apologise that. Nice, Logan. I trade you a load. A load of what?
I trade you a load, big time, long time.
What have you traded me, Phil? A load of wicked dolls?
Turtles, maybe?
Turtles? No.
No? Okay.
I think so, anyway. Hello? Oh, God, could you imagine seeing Gareth do the disco with the Witch musical? It'd be better than the new Disney one, I'll tell you. I'm watching on a different TV, which might be a factor. Can't see the live chat, only on phone. Right. Okay, interesting. Jim Carrey is great in it, which is probably why they've given him 2 parts in this film. I wonder if he gets double the pay.
I didn't even think he was doing films anymore. I thought he kind of retired, but
He did, and they have asked him the question as to why he's doing it. And you know what? That's exactly what his response was. I need the money. Those houses in Beverly Hills must be quite expensive to run. Oh, dear me. Has Gareth got the memo yet and put his festive waistcoat on? I'll have you know that underneath this charming hoodie, I'm completely naked. I'm not. It's too cold just for waistcoats. You don't want to see me in just a waistcoat.
There's a shadows in my waistcoat, actually.
Shadow's over 50 years old. I thought he only came out in the PS2 era. Sonic's not even 50 years old.
I think when was the Mega Drive out?
90s. Mid-90s.
Yeah, it must have been.
And it's based on Sonic Adventure 2, which is a Dreamcast game.
Or maybe late 80s, maybe.
Was joking over Wicked. There we go. Patrick! Hello, sir! How are you? This is the same Patrick that traded me in some Roger Rabbit figures.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Phil Gareth trades lots of loads. Oh, badum-tish. Yeah.
It's a joke, Phil.
It's a joke. Jumpy! Hello, Jumpy. How are you?
Evening, Jumpy.
Shadow is old in the story. Right. Okay. Yeah. I keep forgetting I need to decipher Joe's.
Yeah, I thought he might have meant in like hedgehog. I think he meant in hedgehog years. That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Hello, young man. How are you? I haven't seen you for a little while.
He was on the chat last night.
I mean, in real life.
Oh, okay.
IRL.
IRL, yes.
Skeletons are alive under skin, quoted by Nerdrotic. I haven't watched any Nerdrotic for quite a while, to be honest with you. Where's your Christmas jumper, Gareth? It's in the wardrobe. I don't know if it still fits.
No, mine does either, admittedly. And
Adam is never late. No. He arrives precisely when he means to.
He tends to. Nearly.
God, these messages are coming in quick and fast. Shadow the Hedgehog crisps anyone. Just do not want to see the Christmas jumper. Do you not?
Harsh.
Fine. Yeah, so we were talking Christmas toys, weren't we?
We were. I mean, there are very few. I'm just trying to think if there have ever been any actually Christmas toys, because Lego bring out Christmas sets, don't they, on a fairly regular basis. So I've got a Nutcracker soldier guy upstairs that my son just met in the.
I know exactly which one you mean, and I think I have it.
So that's never been touched. I've got a little polybag Santa that again has never been made. I keep it's a running gag now. I put it in his stocking every year, and he never touches it every year. So it's probably never ever get made, that one. But I'm trying to think what if they've ever done anything. Did they do a sort of? I don't even think if they've done like a Santa's grotto or anything at any point as a sort of a big set.
They've done Lego sets like that, yes.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So Lego sets.
Yeah, they've done quite a lot of Lego sets. If you just, I mean, we could have a look and bring them up, but there's so many that have come out over the years. I think they tend to bring 3 or 4 out every year. Yeah.
They do the gifts with purchase probably as well around this time of year as well, don't they? So they come out with as those. Yeah.
I do quite like some of those. There was a record player a couple of weeks back, which I really wanted to get, but I never got anywhere near a Lego shop, sadly. Is Shadow as old as Ted in the newest Bill and Ted film? Keanu is a cool dude, though. He is, isn't he? He's a very special guy. Very, very special guy. Yeah. Joe Scene, knock, knock, knock. Don't know what that is. Gareth, what did you have for supper? I don't have supper as a rule. For my tea, though, for my dinner, evening meal, I had chicken stew. It was very, very nice. With some lovely crusty bread with thick butter on it.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, yes. It's always the best bit is that. Never mind the stew, just give me the bread and the butter.
I, on the other hand, was in the train contemplating what was left for me to eat in the house. So I ended up with homegrown spag bol was my best remaining option.
Coal is the best stocking filler for your annoying brethren.
Exactly.
I got a great gift this week, a Toy Me, Toy You travel mug from Lee. Oh, fantastic. Oh. That's brilliant. I need to get some cosmic toy ones done, don't I? I really do. If Higher Toys or SH Monster Arts do like a Santa Godzilla, I'm definitely buying it. And I've just realized next week's video, you'll spot this in. Because I had the delivery today, the last delivery before Christmas. And I filmed it, as I always do. And I was like, oh, I missed this one. Here's another piece that came on this week's delivery. And then I put my phone away after I finished filming it, and I was like, oh, there's something else. I went, oh, and here's another piece that I've missed from this week's delivery. And now you've just mentioned Higher Toys and Godzilla, I've just realised that there's another one that I didn't film.
Oh, no.
So, spoiler, there's a Higher Toys Godzilla that's being delivered today. Imagine a Santa Godzilla. Yeah, could you imagine it? Gareth, I'm going to start calling you Butter as a term of endearment. Call me anything, just don't call me early in the morning. Have you found your sidekick yet? No, not quite. It's been suggested. Cosmic Kid has been designed by a viewer. Okay, I'm back. Hello, Mr. B. Welcome back.
Mr. B is back.
Another Higher Godzilla, yes. Another one. I'm so glad that you're hyped for it. Technically, he's hyped as well. He's called Energized, so you should be able to figure out which one it is. Mr. B, Hey Wolvie. Gareth, Higher Toys seem to keep on pushing back their release date. Is there something they do? It takes them forever to fulfill orders. I don't know.
Sometimes things just get delayed. I mean,
I find that it's a very common practice with every toy manufacturer. They almost never meet release dates, which is why I don't even look at the release dates. I look at stuff I want to order for the shop. I say how many I'm going to order, and then when people keep saying to me, when's it coming, I don't know. When it comes in through the door, in a box, that's when it comes. That's its release date.
Fair enough. Fair enough. That is when its release date is when it has been released to Gareth.
It's the release date of Cosmic Toys anyway. Poached eggs. Ooh, you didn't steal them. Someone else did.
I see. That's the Danny, the champion of the world, kind of gagged that. Yep.
That's terrible. I'm surprised no one's had Boom Boom Chicken. Is that where you shove a stick of dynamite up a chicken's bum and then light it?
So we can endorse that sort of behaviour.
Oh, goodness. They get worse.
Oh. Ow.
I have to say, there's nothing excellent about your jokes.
No.
Energized Godzilla is literally my favourite Godzilla, Gareth. Thank you. I haven't given you it.
It's not a crazy.
But you're welcome. My oven broke down yesterday. Oh, dear. Oh, yeah, it's the wrong time of the year for that. We just had to, if it makes you feel any better, it's probably cheaper than the investment we've just had to make. We've just had to buy a new car.
Oh.
Yeah. Beginning of December, the MOT was due. And it had several majors for why it failed. And then there was a massive list of advisories, which will probably be majors next year. So it was like, well,
quits.
Yeah. Do we really want to? You'd probably be looking at a couple of grand to fix it. So if you're going to spend that much on a car that's going to need the same again the following year, it's time to let it go, isn't it? Yeah. It was a 10-year-old car, 12-year-old car. So yeah, we've not had it that long.
Doesn't owe you anything then. That's good.
Oh no, well we've only had it about 3 years.
Oh, see, okay.
Yeah, but we've we've gone for something a bit more, not brand new, but much newer this time. So hopefully it will last us longer. It's bigger though, so I could take more toys to the toy fair.
I imagine it was going to be a more sizable affair. Yes.
My Christmas toys were a load of Star Wars ships and vehicles, and that's just this year.
Yeah. It didn't specify which Christmas.
And there's always a takeaway to do. Yeah, you can always do a takeaway, but it gets quite expensive if you're doing it every mealtime. Are you sure, Dave? Are you sure? Our car is out of there. Oh God, you've got it all happening, haven't you? Jeez.
Is it off fighting Decepticons or something? I mean, I
already know what I'm getting for Christmas. Fair enough. I'm just thinking, is that Shumu? What's its name? Is it Shumu? Your profile picture. That's the ice one, isn't it? From Godzilla X Kong. Oh. Gareth, do you know your way around the stove? I do know my way around the stove, yes. You just walk around it as someone else cooks with it. Yeah. It's certainly here this year. Yes, it's Shimo, that's it. Shimo. Lovely Decepticon joke. Well, we managed to get this topic.
The Transformers UK comic where was it Skids basically decides he's going to stop being an Autobot and just be someone's car for a while. They must have had like at least 2 issues where that was just a thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I quit being an Autobot. I'll be a car.
Yeah. He's getting washed in sort of suggestive fashions by a human lady. Yes.
Suggestive fashions.
I'm just saying it how I read it. Yeah.
Was she polishing his undercarriage?
Well, she was wearing very short shorts.
That seems to be a thing with Transformers, doesn't it? Megan Fox.
It might be an early precursor to later films techniques. Yes.
My car should be called TTT. Why?
Wait for it.
Mm-hmm. Why? He's probably wrote something he didn't mean to write. I figured you were high maintenance and your partner is the one who does the cooking. I knew it. I'm very low maintenance, but yes, my partner does most of the cooking. Did she take you to the Premier Inn? No, but we are going to Travel Lodge on the 26th.
Nice.
Oh no, the inn. Yeah, let's stay away from the inn, please.
There's no room.
Although we're approaching the time, we are approaching that time of the year when we end up asking all the inns if they've got a spare bed for the night, and they tell us that they may have a manger outside. The barn. Go out to the barn. Yeah. Have you got any nice plans for Christmas, Andy?
I need to do a present drop probably towards the end of this week.
All right, okay. That was a very knowing look.
Yes. Possibly going to North Wales briefly. We're going to Doncaster on the 30th for obvious reasons. No other major plans, really. I was thinking of I might brave Leeds on Friday just to see if I get any inspiration for anything else. But
yeah, I was quite right, wasn't I? When I said that's probably not what he meant to say at all. So TTT is actually the cosmic car.
Okay. Is that the TCC?
I might get some labels done for it. Yeah. Sorry, you were saying.
Well, I was like, yes, I was thought I'd go around going to Leeds perhaps and mooch around. So normally I'm just going to Leeds for work, but I thought I might actually go into Leeds to use one of my train tickets up before they expire and then just have a general sort of mooch around. So I don't feel like I've quite stopped enough to do Christmassy things yet. And I feel like I ought to, but
yeah, I haven't. So I've got to be honest, I'm really not feeling it this year at all.
I mean, cards have become a thing in the past for me. I used to be fairly good with my Christmas cards, but I was like, nah.
Yeah, I know. I've had a couple of Christmas cards handed to me, and I'm like, oh yes, cards.
That used to be a thing. Yes.
Right, and it's not out of not caring, because I certainly do, but it's just
time.
Yeah,
and it's also expensive these days. Oh, when I were a lad, stamps were cheap.
You seen how much they are now?
I don't want to know.
I had to drop off some stuff at the post office the other day, and I asked how much a first class stamp is. It was £1.65.
Wow.
And I'm like, I remember them being 65. There was no pound involved.
No.
It's like, wow, grumpy old men shouting at clouds here, but
yeah.
No, it's bonkers. That is so expensive.
It's bonkers.
Although, on the other hand, the fact that you can send a parcel from one end of the country to the other within a day or two for less than £4, I think is absolutely incredible. Yeah.
I mean, that side of it, it's economies of scale, isn't it? Now it's
yeah, I think that's fantastic value, but a letter is £1.65? No.
And you've got to be exactly right with your sizes and stuff as well, or they will have you. They'll have you.
Well,
it will not go if it's not the right size for the right amount of money.
Would I have rockets on my car and a coffee machine? A rockets would be brilliant. We might get pulled over by the police from time to time. Coffee machine's probably not a good idea. I can see spillages happening.
So I think that's a Back to the Future reference, or is that some what do they use in Back to the Future to put the bananas and stuff into?
They've got Mr. Fusion on the back, haven't they?
Mr. Fusion, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
it runs off it. Yeah.
Converted, yeah.
Do I have a cat, Gareth? You can call it the Cosmic Cat. I have two cats. We have a Zelda and we have a Misty. Rockets on a coffee machine. Yeah. Properly do 85 miles an hour.
It's 85 hours an hour.
80. It's 88, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, I'm sure it's 88 miles an hour. You've got to do it before you.
Yeah. Great Scott.
Yeah. There we are. 88. It's been confirmed. Cosmic coffee. Martin knows what my cosmic coffee is like. He loves my cosmic coffee. Although he's moved over to the hot chocolates now.
Oh.
That waistline's going to be getting wider.
Everyone's waistline's getting a lot wider at the moment.
Certainly is. Certainly is.
Aye.
We're moving on to the last hole on my belt at this rate. This here first stop will probably be George Lucas. What? This here first stop will probably be George Lucas.
I can't translate.
His first stop will probably be George Lucas. What, with my cosmic coffee machine?
Yes, that you're going to fly to George Lucas's ranch, apparently.
Oh, Dave. You had to go there. It is actually. I do genuinely. This is so not the topic of conversation that we should be having, really. It's nothing to do with toys. But yeah, I do have a coffee machine at the shop, and I do offer coffees out for my regular customers who tend to hang around for more than 20 minutes or so. And
all of them.
Yeah. And the general consensus is that it's very, very nice coffee. And I think most people think it's the coffee that's nice. And I don't think that. See, it uses a powdered milk. And instead of ordering milk, I order cappuccino topping, which is a creamy flavour. And I think that's why people like it so much.
The secret's
there we are. You weren't expecting that kind of conversation, were you? Please, hot chocolate is better. You say that, but you've never had one of my Choco Milks, which is far better than the hot chocolate. As long as I can always get through the shop door, well, it's easy to say when it's got two doors.
It's very easy. It's very easy to mess up hot chocolates. I find, especially if you're using the powder, you've got to do a spinny thing to.
Wait, the machine whips it as it's making it. Yeah, it is quite posh. See, you're boring like me. You just have tea.
Yeah.
I'm a tea drinker.
My boss this morning offered me something from Pret because she was going, and I said I'd like a tea. And she says, I can't get you a tea. I said, why can you not get me a tea? Because it's too cheap. It's just like hot water, and I don't want to pay the money for just hot water. I want to get something more exciting. I want a tea. Like, just give me a tea. I got a coffee. I end up with a cookie with a melting snowman on it, yeah. which was acceptable because I can then have that with a cup of tea with my free cup of tea that I'd already arranged for because I have my milk and my tea bags in work.
What has happened to our conversation tonight?
I have no idea.
Do I offer glitter coffee? No, I do not offer gimmicky crap like that, Gav. Hot chocolate is the best. I mean, for the car, we're talking about Back to the Future. Oh, we're past that.
Yeah, we passed that. Wait.
Gareth makes cosmic cauliflower cheese on his stove, which he knows is right. Excuse me. That cauliflower cheese is something I've never made, actually.
I can do a bit of cauliflower. That's about it.
Joe, please.
Now, see, Joe, you might just be playing us there. That might have been an intentional misspelling.
I don't think he's that
not
clued up. Let's not answer that.
Let's just not. Let's just not.
Coffee chat is what I tuned in for. Oh well, you're sorted then, aren't you? I mean, have you tasted his cooking? I don't believe Andy's ever tasted my cooking. No.
No, I'm not sure.
This is my tea.
Being addressed to, but no.
Thank you, Tim, and welcome to the chat. How are you, sir? I haven't seen you for a while. Are you well? And he does like my coffee.
You watch it.
The shop, the chat, the atmosphere, and the hot chocolate. It's a winner. That's it. This really is a cosmic discussion, isn't it? Ignore the voice recognition.
You're using voice recognition.
That's how you don't type it, do you? You speak into a microphone, and if you'd ever heard Joe speak, you would understand why it's getting so much wrong.
You must slow down and enunciate.
And I like that he's dysastic spelling.
It's
dyslexic, Joe.
Dyslexic, one of the two.
What about cosmic curry? What about it? I don't make curries. Well, actually, no, that's a lie. I've made plenty curries. They're all in the slow cooker, though. Yes, I'm good. I'm good with a slow cooker. You're all good with a slow cooker. Throw it in and walk away. For your information, cosmic cucumbers are exclusively to me. Is that right, Jumpy? So, toys then. But right after the cucumbers comment. Tim's well. I'm glad to hear that, mate. I am. What happened to the great Christmas toys? I don't know. It evolved into coffee talk.
But did you know this is actually? I always thought this was a Pip Boy, but it's not.
The Pip Boy's the thing on the arm, isn't it?
Yes, but so this is something else. I think. Oh, now what did it actually? I've forgotten what it is. What he actually?
Volt Boy.
Volt Boy.
Volt Boy.
Yeah, it says Volt Boy. I thought it was Pip Boy, but it's Volt Boy. Yeah.
What toy would you most want this Christmas and why?
Ooh, do you know what? One thing I do mean to do with my time, I got a stretch of time off over Christmas, and I was thinking I should actually go into a modern toy store and see what's actually on the shelves because I've literally got no idea. I've no idea what would be current now.
Lego.
Well, yeah, but it's interesting because the last time I did go into one, because my lads got older now, so I don't go into them as much. I used to use that as an excuse to go in and browse because I could say, "Oh, I'm just getting something for my son." Honestly, and I probably was, but you know, I mean, there's a really big store in Leeds, and the upper deck is Lego, like floor to ceiling, it's just like, whoa. If that comes down, you're dead, basically, because that's going to be a lot of weight of bricks. And it had quite a big game section still as well, actually, interestingly, for a physical store. But downstairs was just a mix of stuff. And it's kind of, well, what would be on those shelves now? And I really don't know. I mean, Transformers are obviously still stocked in most places.
Yeah.
Because it's a big line, isn't it? Still,
it is. It's a huge line. I would really be interested with Transformers as to finding out who the audience is.
Yes,
I would imagine, judging by most of the Transformers lines, I think most of them are not children. I do,
and they're quite
sad.
They're complicated to transform as well. I find the more modern ones. I'm not sure kids would have the tolerance for it these days. I don't know.
What about them, Joe?
What about hot dogs? What about hot dogs? What about hot dogs? Cadbury mini chocolate dispenser was something often associated with Christmas.
It's one of those things that was always on my Christmas list that I never got. Just like the Mr. Frosty. The Mr. Frosty maker. I never got that either.
No.
And Ben was saying that he does make a mean bread pudding from scratch.
Cool.
One day I'll have to sample it. He also says modern toy store blasphemy.
Yes, but if they're never modern, they never turn vintage, do they? So
exactly, they have to start somewhere.
Making them.
I know for sure that I'm getting the toy I most want because I ordered it.
There's a word for that, and the word for that is cheating.
Martin's ideal toy this Christmas would be a vintage Star Wars Y-Wing fighter. Never had it as a child and always wanted it.
They had very, very breaky engines, as I recall, in the sense that they had 4 struts per engine, which were wibbly-wobbly things, so it never really worked.
He knows this very well because there's one at the shop that he wants to buy from me, but he can't because it's missing 4 of the struts.
That would be problematic, yes.
Yeah.
You can't tell me someone doesn't do repro struts, though.
Oh, no, they're out there. The problem you get, I think it'd probably be easier to buy all 8 because they do 2 different shades of grey.
Yeah.
So rather than have oddments, just get all 8.
That's the right word for a plastic piece, but yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember Jason the Wheeled Warriors? I've seen the first ever episode.
Yes, very vividly. The toys are very, very difficult to come by in this country, though. They do exist. And in fact, it wasn't, I think, until I saw them in Leicester one day, I didn't really realise that they did exist because they're far more common in France.
Right.
It was far bigger cartoon over there, I think. But I remember getting up religiously to watch it early in the morning on Channel 4.
Right, okay.
Good cartoon.
Dave, come now. Do you believe them? Do you believe them?
But you see, interestingly, now I'm not up on the modern Transformers series, but which see, there's so many different flavors of it now, but that Beast Hunters series and the one that preceded it, Prime. I thought that was a cracking series.
It is.
Relatively few characters in it, interestingly, when you stop and think about it. But no,
why?
Good Transformers series. I do not know.
You know why there's very few Transformers in it? Very few characters.
Go on.
Faster rendering times.
Oh yeah, sure. CGI would have it.
It was a budgeting thing.
And yet you say that, and yet there's a hell of a lot of generic Viacons in it.
Yeah.
At any given point in time. So I would counter your rendering time and raise you a voice actor cost.
No, it's an official reason. That's what they actually said. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
That's why they kept it quite lean. But I think it worked.
Yeah, it did work. But actually, I mean, the Viacons as well, I suppose, they probably weren't very high resolution models, so they could probably render them quite quickly because they didn't need to worry about voice, doing the mouths and stuff. So it makes sense. But also, we've had what was it called? Transformers Earthrise. And then
I've not seen any of that. It doesn't.
No, then there's the movies, but that's what I mean. But they and then there's Transformers, the animated, the sort of the cartoon style one with the Grimlock was in it. I think there's a green Grimlock, and so they keep on doing iterations of it for a young audience, which we're like, oh well, we don't know what's going on with that, but it is there in the background. So they're clearly still marketing it at younger kids.
Oh, definitely.
Under our radar, sort of thing. But
definitely, the way I base my judgment on it, and it could be biased. It could be biased. Is on how many I get in, on how many, and what kind of Transformers I get in second hand. Because for them to become second hand, they have to be bought in the first place.
That would follow.
Yeah. Yes. And the ones I keep getting in are Studio Series. They're the Generations lines. It's all the stuff that is aimed on masterpieces. All the stuff that's aimed at the grown-up collector, the adult collector.
Yeah.
Maybe the kids ones, they break them and they're not worth trading in or selling. It could be a case of that. I don't know. But
yes, because the adult collector would tend to keep theirs in a more collectible state that someone like yourself would want to buy back to be able to sell on again. So yeah.
I mean, Hasbro keeps saying the same thing about Star Wars. They still say that it's still primarily children that are the audience. Then why do you keep going back to the original trilogy and the prequels? Because those folk that grew up with them aren't kids anymore now. But your Acolyte stuff isn't selling. Your Ahsoka stuff isn't selling. Your Obi-Wan Kenobi stuff didn't sell. Andor stuff didn't sell, and that's certainly not aimed at kids anyway. But
no, but again,
original trilogy and prequels.
But again, they are not as culturally significant as the original films were. There is no guarantee that everyone has managed to keep up with every single series of Star Wars that they've been throwing at us.
No, they've churned it out, haven't they? They've churned it out. Gap. He said toy. What I want for Christmas is for Gareth to be my merry maid and clean my house every day of the week until eternity. But I will tell you one thing. I wouldn't be a merry maid if I was forced to clean.
Grumpy maid.
I'd be a very grumpy maid. I know I've been really excited since you mentioned the Higher Toys Godzilla earlier on, but don't even know if I have the money for it. I haven't even looked at the invoice, so I don't know how much it cost me, let alone what it's going to cost you. Do you remember Build the Lightsaber? Yes.
I do. Yeah, my son had a Kylo Ren, one of those.
Okay, yeah. I think they started doing them during Clone Wars. Yeah. I'm surprised they have not made Fast and Furious figures. They'd have to do them as a box set, wouldn't they? Because they're all family.
We are family. We drive really fast cars.
Probably because the sequels became deader and deader every time. They did become more soulless. They'd have to make the cars too, Joe. Otherwise, what's the point?
But they do make the cars.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
But I think it means they'd have to make the cars that the figures could go in.
Oh, good point. Good point. Yes.
Not fast stuff done cast. Will always be original. Yes, I know, Martin. I know. Wicked is definitely aimed at horny middle-aged men.
Why do you think they call it Wicked?
Who remembers the Star Wars special?
I know of it. I can't say that I remember it particularly, but I know of it.
I'm trying to forget it, and then someone like you reminds me about it, Joe. Talking about Star Wars, not sure about New Jedi, but probably will watch it though. New Jedi. Do you mean the New Jedi Order that they're working on? It does. It does mean that. Yeah, I'd like to see where they're going to go with it. I've got no faith in it whatsoever at the moment. They need to win me over with good quality other products first, the other series first. I will admit I'm currently enjoying Skeleton Crew.
I'm behind on it now. Actually, I need to catch up again.
I watched last week's episode. Thought it was perfectly fine. This week's episode, I was a bit late to. I started watching it, then got called away for tea tonight, and I haven't gone back and watched the second half of it in time for tonight. But I will be honest, it wasn't doing much for me. It wasn't this week's episode. But overall, it's been fine. You know, it is what it is. It's a children's show. You know, it's not for us. It's definitely not for us. It's for our kids. And I think the biggest testament to that is one of my daughters who's never watched Star Wars at all. Walked in 5 minutes into the first episode, sat down beside me, watched those first two with me, and then said, "Can we make this our thing every week?"
Oh,
and well, I was like, "Okay, yeah, I'm not going to say no to that."
That's what my lad did with the Mandalorian as well.
Yeah,
because it's got the Grogu element in it, and the kids will bond with that element of it, even if they're not actually into the wider element of it. It's quite interesting because they're focusing on that relationship. Because they understand that relationship as a father-son relationship. So
definitely, yeah.
No,
it's I think it's well put together and it's well made. I'm not talking about Wicked. Some of the gayest characters I've ever seen in a film.
Yes, they are very happy people.
I like that. Skeleton Crew is good, says Tim. It's not just me then. It's not just me. No, I'm enjoying it. Yeah. Even though I recognise it's not for me, I'm enjoying it.
The question.
This week's was poor, fair enough.
Wow.
Although we had a discussion last night, didn't we, about what was poor and what isn't. We won't go there, though. No, I don't think there's much to look forward to. I've just been sort of like trying to catch up on trailers before I started tonight's Skeleton Crew. And I got a little bit, well, not giddy, but I was like, "Ooh, it's here!" when I saw that there was a trailer for the new Superman movie, just to find out that it's a trailer for the trailer.
Of course it is.
Of the new Superman movie, because trailers require trailers now.
Has anyone watched the most recent, the Superman and Lois series that was, I think, was that BBC have been showing?
Hello, Left Coast. How you doing?
Because that seems to have stopped now, but it actually looks like it was perhaps better than I thought it was going to be. Actually, I could never quite get that guy as Superman, if you know the one I mean.
What are we talking about?
You know, Superman and Lois.
Right? Is it Tyler Hoechlin or something like that plays?
I don't know what the names are, but set in Smallville, and Lex is very sort of blatantly anti the entire family. Basically, you've got two sons in this version. Both of which get powers later, I think.
I've not watched it.
No, but it actually looks quite interesting, actually, in fairness to them. I haven't watched any of this I haven't kept up with the Arrowverse at all, because I just never would have had a chance to, because just too much content, I think, there for someone of my tender years. But I thought that the execution of that show actually does look better than I might have thought.
Okay.
But they seem to have stopped now. So I think it was only 4 seasons worth or something. So
that's right,
naturally ended, and then they're going to move on and do this new Superman in the new movie. So yeah, interesting.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. I probably do need to give it a try, to be honest with you. It's a prequel to the Wicked show is, Wicked series. Got to say, this week's episode has been the poorest so far. Okay. And Left Coast loves it, though. The Sonic 3 trailer was more hyped than the actual movie. Really? That's right, it's Rick, isn't it? That's right. Left Coast, you must have switched channels by accident. What do you think of the new Naughty Dog trailer? A dog that's humping someone's leg or something? I don't know. What is it?
Is anyone watching Lower Decks at the moment?
I've never watched it.
Oh, it's good.
Rick would like anything, including watching paint dry.
It depends how into your Star Trek you are, Lower Decks. If you've seen most of the traditional Star Trek to this point, you will like Lower Decks basically. Is what it boils down to. What
I've seen a lot of memes of it having Dr. Bashir and Gareth kissing in it.
Yes.
Why? I never even got that vibe in DS9.
No, in DS9,
maybe from Gareth's side.
No, in DS9 they were busy mates, but these guys are alternate universe Gareth and Bashir. Because one of the I think
alternate
Bashir is a
universe.
hologram.
Gotcha.
So it's more than that. Even it's a sort of a hologram Cardassian crossover love interest thing as well. So
really,
yeah. Gap, do you seriously not know what Lower Decks is? I think that's irony, but I could be wrong.
I know it's the last episode. Animated Star
Phil,
Trek
why do you think I'm mentioning it, Phil?
Fair enough. Last episode.
I think it's our last ever episode as well. I think they think this is the end for it.
Must be on the Wicked website. Yes.
Yeah.
Star Trek spin-off show, and it's bad. Oh well.
Joe says it's bad.
Oh, Joe doesn't know his Star Trek. That's the first Wolverine, Superman, and Lois. You mean Superman and Lois?
Yeah.
Not Lewis. Council, which toy means the most to you and why? Martin's desperately trying to bring it back on track. Well done, mate.
Back on topic. Well, I'll tell you what I have got coming up is, well, I will do in due course. I haven't actually done it yet, but back in the day, you might have seen on the channel that I got Centurion's Ace McLeod back. And I always really enjoyed that because it was a nice, big, chunky character. Looked very much like it did in the cartoons and did exactly what it did in the cartoons. I.e., you could sort of, you could put him up into these power extreme pose and lock all his stuff onto him, put his helmet on, and that was how it happened in the cartoon. And then you could swoosh him around, and you had the old battle with the bad guy drones and that sort of stuff. But I've recently got the modern reimagining of him. So I'm going to be comparing him with the Raymond Toys version of him with the same suit. And my immediate knee-jerk reaction was, by God, that's a lot smaller. But I suspect it's going to be quite interesting just to compare the two alongside each other and see what the little tweaks they've done to it. Okay. So I do like that as a sort of nostalgia hit, because that was one of my original era toys that I had. I think I had the grand total of him and one strafer drone, and that was it from the entire range. That was it. Possibly an extra, like they did like these add-on packs where you could get extra kind of units for the figures. I think they called it a power booster pack or something like that. But that was about it. Really, that was all they sort of did. But I just thought it was good because they were really good size to play with.
Wasn't something called Sky something or other, the thing that you could fasten onto him?
There were several. So there was Sky Knight, which I think he probably came with, Sky Bolt, and then Orbital Interceptor.
Oh, actually, that's the one I'm thinking of, which doesn't have Sky in it at all, does it?
No, it doesn't. No, that's got Orbital in it. But yeah,
that's the one I've got at the shop as well. That's why I mentioned it.
I know. Yes, yeah, you have indeed. But and then they had the other cool names like Wild Weasel and Hornet and Depth Charger, and it's all that sort of stuff. Tidal Blast. Oh my God, I know too much of these. Cruiser. I can remember them all. That's scary. But yeah, they're just really good toys.
I want to answer this question quite honestly.
I know. I'm trying to buy you time while you look. I can see you looking.
I don't know. I don't feel like I have an emotional attachment really to any of my toys.
I mean, in terms of actual sort of emotional stuff, I think Jetfire for me was probably quite a big one, because it was I saved up my pennies very, very hard to get that, and I got it from Hamleys in London when Hamleys was still like a major store like Harrods, but I got it from Hamleys. And that was quite a big deal for me, because I still have a very clear memory of handing over all my pennies to get it. So it's been really nice to get that one back. It was just such a cool toy because it was so articulated, and he had all the armor, and he turned into a jet, like a really big jet.
It's cool.
That looks like a cool jet, and it has swing wings, so it's like an F-14 out of Top Gun and everything, and it's like brilliant. I mean, such a great toy, really great toy.
But no, you mentioned Jetfire, which strangely enough, one of the things I was looking at is that space fighter that I have, which is Jetfire. It is that toy, which I've not yet done. I need to do a video of that. Because I had one as a kid. It's not the one I had. Mine never had a box. Mine didn't have any of the accessories or anything. But I can remember playing with it as a jet, really. I don't think, even though I knew it transformed, I don't think I ever bothered transforming it. I always just kept it as a jet.
Well, the big, what was the company? What was the company that did? No, it's not Sunrise. Who am I thinking of?
Harmony Gold?
No, it's the who released all the sort of Robotech toys. I'm blanking on it. But their version of the Valkyrie didn't transform; it was just a jet. Right.
Okay. Yeah. Oh no, this one I had did. I have got the toy of it now. That same as what I had as a child, but it's I probably got it as a hand-me-down or a second-hand toy or something.
Right.
And it was incomplete, and I knew it could transform, but I just never really did.
Yeah,
probably once or twice, but I just played with it as a jet. But I can't say that it means anything to me. But looking in the cabinets, then something that did jump out to me is that, which I received not too long ago from LOWBOT, and that's because it was completely unexpected. It was a really kind, nice gesture to be sent something like this, and it's something I would have wanted had I known it existed anyway. So, from that perspective, that probably means more to me than what most of the stuff in there does. So, yeah. And the only other thing I can think of is possibly the Dapple TARDIS playset, which it's not even my old one. It's the third one that I've had. But even though it's a horrible thing, I do love it. And ages ago, TJ sneaks in at the back where no one spots her just to announce her presence. Hello, TJ. They're below the upper decks. I like that.
But I laugh. I chuckled though because they did a recent episode that they called Upper Decks.
Yeah,
which was clever. I thought, well played. Yeah, that's good.
What happened to the great Christmas toys? I think they got lost. Did anybody see Secret Level yet? I haven't seen it. No. That's a show on Amazon. Anthology series, well animated, and every episode is based on a different video game. So it does look interesting. One of the episodes is a Warhammer episode as well. So I do want to watch this myself.
For the Emperor.
It's like the back of the bus where you sit wearing your hockey helmet gap. Is that where the lower deck is? Right, that's enough toy chatter. Let's talk biscuits.
No, because then we'll start talking about knobs, and that's going to lead to...
I like a nice chocolate hobnob.
See, told you. It's gone.
You know, I was going to say chocolate digestive until you said hob, and I was like, ooh, chocolate hobnobs. Just started watching the Arnie one. Always liked R5D4. Love the card back and the colours of it.
Yeah.
It's a good one, is R5. He is. He's a very good one. Love the Warhammer one. Did not enjoy the other ones, though. Okay.
I need to make myself a proper playlist over the holidays, don't I? Because I'm so behind on stuff.
Ooh, sound effects too.
Okay.
What can I do? Gareth should do voiceover work. Right, Joe, in case you're thinking that because of the Cosmic Toy Man in last night's episode, that's an AI voice, mate. It's my voice, that I then click a button and it changes it completely.
But it is. I mean, God, it is impressive though. It's very, very clever. I've got to hand it to them. It's very clever.
And if you want to see me do voice work, go and have a listen to some of my Masters of the Universe story times. My Skeletor is wicked. Probably more in line with Wicked as well. Oh, hey, man. Oh, I've got some catching up to do here, haven't I? Shush, I sneaked in. You didn't sneak in. You announced your presence. Mine is the vintage Sand People figure. It was the first Star Wars figure I was bought by his mum.
Oh.
We've got another Dave. Super Dave.
Super Dave.
I have Power of the Primes, Optimus Prime for sale. Oh, have you now? Well done. Good luck selling it. And Lee's here just in time for the biscuits. What's your favourite biscuit then, Lee? Please don't say chocolate hobnob. Hashtag Garibaldi for the win. Someone's a Babylon 5 fan.
Mr. Garibaldi.
I could say something about fingers, but I won't.
I had to explain what fingers were to somebody because she's from Australia originally.
Toy me, Lee. Here's Lee. Toy you, Dave. Chocolate fingers are awesome. You only say that because you like to stick them up your nose before you eat them. And in your ears.
Nowhere else.
Leave your biscuit circle games over there, thank you. I'll have you know they started in the States. We only imported them. You get the same voice for the next one, Gareth. Yeah, it's within the CapCut editing suite. The voice is called Good Guy, which
that's
within
CapCut. Right.
It's within CapCut, yeah. Let me have a look. I'm not sure if it's one of the paid-for features.
I might need to migrate to that because the thing I'm using is basically declared itself dead.
You need to use CapCut. You really need to use CapCut. Because even the free version of it is really, really good.
I did do it. I used it once. I think it was when I inadvertently did a 4K video and discovered at that point that the one I had been using put a great big banner across it to say you haven't subscribed, so you don't get 4K video rendering as a thing. So it's like, oh, okay then. So then I bounced to CapCut free just to edit and just to sort of publish it.
Where are you, good guy?
Shall I do some chats while you look up? I like a bit of shortbread, says Dave.
I like a bit of shortbread. Where is it?
You can't go wrong with a jammy dodger.
Oh, jammy dodgers. I don't know those in years.
Fig rolls, says Phil. I don't think I've ever had a fig roll.
You never had fig rolls? You haven't lived.
Apparently
right, Good Guy is one of the free voice characters that you can choose within CapCut. So yeah,
cool.
Yeah,
Gareth is a messy biscuit eater. That's slander.
I'm a dunker.
I'm
a dunker. Yeah, definitely a dunker. And frequently they end up stuck to the bottom of the cup.
Oh, bye, Gap.
Where are you going? Take care, Gap. Bye bye.
That was about. I don't know. It was only a minute ago. That's all right. Show. Went there with Garibaldi's again. Pete, what's wrong with you? He's a Babylon 5 fan. That's all right.
Yeah, what's wrong with Garibaldi's?
It's all right.
I don't think I've ever had a Garibaldi.
You a dairy milk for you a dairy milk. Dairy milk for you a. What's secret level Pac-Man? Interesting. Also the D&D, which made me wonder if it was board games as well as video.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah.
Two will be a mouse trap episode. Bourbon cream.
I like that. About a mousetrap episode. No, you know what they'll do? They'll do a Junji Ito inspired episode of Twister. Junji Ito is a Japanese horror manga writer.
God.
Yeah, and he does a lot of body horror. Well, could you imagine Twister where they're all actually twisting around?
And it's merging with one another.
That is a very JoshyyBoyyToys thing to do, is that? Yeah.
Love big rolls, and bonus, no one else in the house does. Yeah. Well, that's the situation with me and Terry's chocolate oranges. Fortunately, my son does not like them, so I get them all to myself.
The only problem is you become much more the shape of a Terry's chocolate orange. The more
there is that, but I find the sort of unwrapping quite satisfying. And then I take the sticker off the top to get access to them and stick it back on the bottom again.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's just tied.
I like how you have a technique.
It would be rude not to.
A whole
then you've got to keep the wrapping relatively intact. Take segments out, replace the wrapping around it, place it into the original plastic container, and pretend you haven't eaten any of it.
Joe forgot toffee biscuits. I don't know what they are.
I'm guessing biscuits that taste a bit like toffee.
Or biscuits that got toffee in them. I do like the digestives with caramel in them. They're nice. Ooh,
God, that must be calorific. Good Lord.
Yeah, when you've dipped them and the biscuit's gone soggy and the chocolate's gone melty, and yet the caramel's still not soft, it's still a little bit firm. Very nice.
Did you see my little rant video the other day?
I think I did. Yes.
That really annoyed me. That because I'd been having some of these like sort of cereal bars between breakfast and lunch as a sort of just a little sort of tide me over sort of thing, and I discovered that they've got like 10% of your sugar and fat for the day in one bar. You're
not supposed to have 6 of them and wonder why you're not losing any weight.
That's just in one of the so-and-sos. And they've got hey, hello from Copenhagen, or sort of Guten Abend or something. But the nutrition information on the box is just grey. There's no reds and greens and oranges. It's just grey because they're so bad.
Yeah,
they just completely abuse the system because there's no official system, so they just grey it out.
Well, I think officially they've got to put it on there.
Well,
but
even that
the colour code thing is only responsible companies that use
the only thing they have to do is put the actual detailed nutrition information on the back. The traffic light system is voluntary completely.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
If you like a lot of chocolate on your biscuit, join the
club. You have to pause between that.
Yeah, there has to be a pause.
Mint club.
You remember that? Have you had a club biscuit in recent years?
Yes.
They're nothing like they used to be.
But is that just because we're older with larger mouths?
No, it's not the size. It's the lot of chocolate on your biscuit aspect.
Oh.
It used to, I can remember having to get through the chocolate.
Well, that may also depend on the temperature of your club biscuit. I personally keep my club biscuits in the fridge. In the fridge.
But no, it's just not stickers anymore like it used to be. You can see biscuit through the chocolate. It's that thin. Cookies.
Nom, 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 nom.
I used to work at Jacob's where they made club. Can't eat them now. Sorry.
Oh.
Fair enough. I assume you mean can't eat them now because cats shouldn't eat biscuits with chocolate on them. Chocolate's fatal to cats. Just like our atmosphere is to the Cosmic Toy Man.
Indeed. Beautiful segue. Well played. Dogs also don't like chocolate either, so that seems to be a common thing. Only humans are stupid enough to like chocolate, clearly.
Fruit Club. Oh, yes. Yeah. Yes, I remember Fruit Club. Ooh, I want a time machine now. I'm deeply offended by the versions of chocolate orange that are not orange flavoured. There used to be a mint one, didn't there?
They did experiments. I think I did try that one once. It was like, meh. It wasn't my sort of mint somehow. I don't know.
Oh, yes. A tin of Danish butter biscuits associated with Christmas. I could see why. Same as the roses and Quality Streets. You don't have them the rest of the year, do you? I remember the adverts for Black Magic as well.
Yeah. I tend to have chocolate oranges this time of year as well for some reason. I think just because I'm trying to be slightly good about it, that's all.
Is it a crime against nature when someone eats all of the Cadbury's good ones and leaves Bounty? Well, Bounty wouldn't be in the Cadbury's ones.
I was going to say, technically speaking, that's not a Cadbury's product.
That would be in the celebrations.
In my experience, what's left at the bottom of the Cadbury's is the eclairs. The teeny tiny eclairs. But I do eat them on a matter of principle, eventually.
Oh, I eat them as well. None of them go to waste around me. It's got sugar in it.
Absorbed through osmosis, yes.
When I was young, I thought the core of the chocolate orange was the best part.
Ever.
It's too slim. Trio!
Trio! I want a trio and I want one now.
I remember that very clearly. Don't you start on Bounty Long. I can't have a problem up in here. I like the Bounties as well. Clubs are crap now. Andy, you are wrong. Bounty sucks. Well, bring them to me then. I'll eat them. I like Bounties. Don't take away my breakaway. Oh my word, we're really going down the rabbit hole here, aren't we?
We are a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember picking up. I could tell you stories about the fruit clubs. I'll pass, thanks. I thought they still made fruit clubs. I think they just make orange and red ones now. Just the normal ones and the orange flavoured ones. Do they do green as well?
Oh, yeah, definitely do green. I've had green recently. Yeah.
Which are the green? Are they mint?
Mint.
Yeah. Okay.
Partial to a bit of mint.
That Logan, Bounty is hot stuff. It certainly is. In fact, because I like Bounty so much, and we've already affirmed that I have a coffee machine in the shop that makes hot chocolates, I also have a bottle of Malibu. Because that taste, when you put it in the hot chocolate, it tastes like liquid Bounty. With a kick.
With a kick, yeah, I can say.
In fact, yes.
And suddenly Gareth sales figures increased remarkably that weekend when he started putting Malibu in the customers' coffees.
Yeah. Got a bottle of whiskey back there as well for coffee. United Taxi Band. It's the Lidl brand, so it's not actually Malibu, but it's nice. It's just as nice as the Malibu, to be fair, and it's a third of the price. Recently had to educate the younger Brooks generation in the Trio chocolate bar adverts. One of my favourites is the Mr. Soft.
I remember you showing that before.
I've shown you it before, I know, but Mr. Soft. I love it. Won't you tell us why your world is so soft and rearranged? Cannot stand coconuts.
We found his kryptonite, clearly.
Yeah, I'm going to start putting coconut in the chat. I wasn't really expecting this biscuit chat to take off like this when I suggested it. Well, Dave, you know what this lot are like.
This is how we roll.
We're like.
I'm pretty sure we have had all these conversations before as well.
Probably, yeah. But you remember the Yorkie bar adverts? Well, I remember it not being for girls.
Just for us boys.
And I'll tell you something. Since it is now for girls as well, the chocolate is nowhere near as strong as it used to be.
Ooh.
Seriously, you just bite through it, no problem. I only like.
Now, can I just say that there was a special place down under for people who leave empty packets of these in the bloody box. Don't do it. Put them in the bin.
If you like, Tim, yes, just remind me.
Bin.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. 55, I dare. After fighting for them. You're 55. I thought you were 30. Oh, Joe. Is that your pickup line?
Smooth.
Very smooth. Banjo bar. I don't know a banjo bar. See, I'm not as old as you, Phil. I don't know what a banjo bar is. Now we're scraping the bottom of the biscuit barrel. We're getting all the crumbs now. MASH adverts were good. Today I watched an American watching late 70s to early 90s British adverts. Interesting.
Oh, you can get everything on YouTube.
Malibu in your coffee. No, Malibu in the hot chocolate. It's whiskey in the coffee. I'll take that into account next time I visit and not ask you to eat one of the most awkwardly placed things in the shop. To be fair, I don't think I've ever made you a drink, Jumpy, because you always say you've just had one, don't you?
Question.
Go on.
That enormous Batman figure that is in the comics section that basically says sold, don't ask me about it. Is it actually sold? Has anyone actually ever come to pick it up? Do you know what I mean? Really big box, huge box. It might have gone since I was last in. I don't know. But...
Oh, yeah. That's the Michael Keaton 1989 Batman. Yes, it is sold, and now it has been picked up. There was my mate Sean bought that off me. His mum's been paying for it for Christmas. £100 a month she paid it off, bless her. Sorry. It's TJ that leaves wrappers in the box.
Oh, TJ.
After eights. Be on the blue ribbon next. They're boring, the blue ribbons. I love them.
I like the texture of them.
Yeah. There's just nothing to them, though, is there? It's like timeouts. They're just...
They are literally wafer thin.
Wafer thin, yes. Wafer thin. After eights and coffee. All right, okay. Okay.
Yeah, not a coffee.
Wagon wheels aren't like... No, well, they used to be the size of a wagon wheel.
No. I tried that the other day. It's like, ooh, disappointing. Very disappointing. Gosh.
I never liked them as a kid, to be fair. Or did I make you one last time? Oh, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it as well. Let's sack off the vintage toy stuff and do all vintage chocolate bars instead.
I have a feeling they wouldn't sell as well, though.
No, not if they're original ones.
Exactly. Yeah. Then they'd be vintage, see?
I think Aeros are still going, Joe.
Yeah. But we have been talking about other things that are still going as well, in fairness. So that's the kind of like an out-and-out chocolate bar rather than a biscuity chocolate bar. So
yes.
Go watch our definitions here. There's no biscuit in an Aero.
Last time I was offered a drink in your shop, I was called boring for asking for a black Americano. What I find amusing is when people think that they're being really posh by saying, "I have an Americano, please." It's like, a black coffee then, yeah?
Black coffee then, yeah.
It's like, just say black coffee.
But you can charge them double for an Americano.
This is it, isn't it? I don't think you're boring at all, mate. I don't. Hubby won a Nerf machine gun today. One on a stand. All right, interesting.
Heavy duty.
Remember the Texan? I see you're naming all these things I've never heard of. Say a Texan bar to me sounds like a bar in Texas. You know, where you get an AR-14 with your pint.
I do remember the Milky Bar Kid adverts, though. Or at least some of them.
Oh, yeah. I remember the Milky Way ones with the cars. Oh, Milky Bar, you said, didn't you?
Milky Bar, yeah, Milky Bar.
The Milky Bars are on me.
Oh, dear.
What about WoW?
Are we still talking about biscuits? Come on.
Come on, let's move on. Star Bar, yes. Fox. Nutty Bar. Drifter. I did like Drifters. Yeah, I want Drifters
back. Yeah,
back.
they've died, haven't they?
I want Drifters back.
Left. Yeah.
I'm not hurt. Time out, and now shelled biscuits and not bars. Yeah, I know. That's weird, that. Yeah, right. We mentioned that. I bet you do. I'll tell you what, just for you.
I don't think we wouldn't have space to do that in here. No, can't do it. Can't do it. I've got a teeny tiny room.
Texans were the best. They brought them back early noughties for a short time, did they now? See, I used to like Toppos, which are not chocolate bars. That was my nickname as a kid. I looked like the Milky Bar kid.
Oh.
You sure grew. The red car and the blue car had a race. They certainly did. Oh my goodness, you're all about them. But that's we're not branching off into ice cream as well. We're done.
Joe the Tangential Man.
Bloody hell.
Funny.
Oh God, Mr. Tom's peanut brittle. Oh, Jesus Christ. Now you're talking. Now you're talking. So what toys are we hoping for Christmas?
I was just thinking that's quite scary.
Really?
Yeah.
We're desperate to change the subject now, aren't we? It's gone on. I think we've been talking for about an hour.
Talk toys. Let's talk. But this is exactly why I was thinking about going.
It's not that I'm drawing the line at ice cream. It's the fact that it's now branching out into something else, and I'm drawing the line at the branch.
Yeah.
I love ice cream. Not a fan of Ben and Jerry's.
We are snipping this branch.
Yeah, and that's because I don't like ice cream with bits in it.
But this is shush now. This is partly why we were going. Why I was thinking about going into an actual toy shop to see what's actually available now for kids to buy. So I was thinking, what would kids now be getting at Christmas time?
It's interesting, isn't it?
Wise, because it's kind of would there, for example, be Skeleton Crew toys? Are there Skeleton Crew toys already?
Yes. I don't know if they're actually on shelves yet, but yes.
Yes, inevitably, I suppose, because they must be doing this though. They must be slinging the merchandise out with Star Wars like every single time they even think about doing something else. I mean, it's what's funny as well, of course, is that sometimes you get the toys beating the TV series and stuff out.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because they've got to pre-produce the toys, so they've got to do it really sort of early doors. He's in absentia this evening.
Yeah, he did say he might join us later, but it looks like that's not happening, bless him. It's Christmas, we're all busy. I didn't want to do this tonight either.
So, yeah, I mean, ironically, for my Christmas, I'm actually sort of, given that I've done quite well with the Terrahawk stuff, I'm actually researching cameras at the moment.
Oh, really?
Randomly enough, yeah.
Okay.
Partly because I've got an ancient Canon, which is a digital SLR, so it's not so narrow into mirrorless, and the one of the only reasons I can actually justify doing it over just upgrading my phone, which is also due for a replacement, is the zoom as much as anything else. But it also means that I can set up a camera on the tripod downstairs to do my filming with and just leave it alone, because I'm unlikely. It's not like I'll be going out regularly with it, but it does mean if I want to put a better lens on it, if you get the right sort of camera, obviously, then I can swap out the lens and go out and shoot aircraft with the lad if he wants to go and do that.
Yeah.
So that I can kind of justify my use case on that basis, and there are some really good ones around that can do 4K video, but have been out for a number of years, so they're not actually ridiculously expensive. It's kind of, I mean, it's all relative, but if you think about how much you pay for your phone when you're paying it for it each month, it's probably less than that. So it's going to be.
Your phone does do a lot more altogether, though, doesn't it?
Well, it doesn't. But even phones have their limitations. I mean, they do really good video. I mean, my phone is nearly 3 years old, and it is quite happily done virtually every single 1080p video that is on my channel.
Mm-hmm. I think that the one that I use for most of my filming is about 3 years old.
Yeah, but you've got a good 4K off it as well. But the problem I find though is that when I've got apps on my phone and I've got fixed storage, I will tend to run out. once I've done maybe 2 videos. Whereas with the camera, I can put dedicated storage on it, take it out, slot more storage in if I really needed to. You know,
we've got a family package through the Apple thing where you get like games, you get Apple TV included with it. You get upgraded cloud storage as well. So that's one of the things. So
yeah,
I think, although I don't really watch anything on Apple, I don't watch. I've never played a single one of the games. I get the benefit from the cloud storage. The family gets the benefit from the TV and the music.
Yeah.
I listen to the music in the shop as well, so it's.
And I do use
deal.
And I do use that as part of my sort of process, in the sense that my phone backs itself up to OneDrive. So it puts itself on the cloud. Then that will talk to my PC when I'm doing the actual editing and so on. So that is nice because I don't have to think about that. It just does it in the background. So again, I mean, I hadn't got around to thinking about that, but I don't know how many cameras actually do that. Because, you know, I mean, the cameras will plug straight into the PC as well. So it swings and roundabouts, I guess. But I could also use a camera as a webcam. Interesting.
Yes. Yeah. You can your phone as well, strangely.
Well, I'm sure you probably could do, but again, it's just like how much pressure do you want to put on your poor phone? You know.
Yeah. I have to say though, I make my phone earns its keep. I've got 2 now. I've got I think it's an iPhone X or 10 and an iPhone 14, and I use both of them for filming, and they earn their keep. I've become obsessed with Airgram Boys, space robots. If we're getting back onto toys, I've not heard of them.
No.
Let's get onto toys. I like the idea of getting onto toys. Airgam.
1 hour and 40 minutes in, and we're onto toys. There we go. Can't excuse us of not being on.
Oh, right. Okay, you did put a picture up in the group chat about these, didn't you? Specifically the space one, you say, yes? Space robots. Let's get back onto toys. Let's share this screen. Present. Share screen. There we are. That's what he's talking about, ladies and gents. Look at that. That's pretty cool, isn't it? I like that. They look like Playmobil.
Cool. They do look like Playmobil. Yeah, I was thinking that.
They look like Playmobil. That looks like Playmobil crossed over with Action Jacks. To my eyes.
Playmobil, such solid stuff. It's incredible.
I'm sorry, that is knockoff Playmobil.
The hands are a little bit different.
You think?
A little bit.
Playmobil
hands are more like sort of proper claws kind of thing, you know?
I'm loving these kind of things. I'd have them on a shelf. They're cool. That's excellent. I like that. Oh, don't you dare start me down another line, Mark.
And the 7 Zark 7 is reappearing there frequently for some reason.
Yeah. Yes.
Space Robot Vintage Figure Toy, 80s 3D print.
Yeah, so that's
7 Zark 7.
That's the STL so that you can 3D print it.
Yeah.
I'm a space knight. Sir Dar. I like the little flying saucer here. That's awesome.
That's cool.
So something like that the Cosmic Toy Man would have. I like them. No, they're very, very good, Mark. I like those.
I could see Cosmic Toy Man using a Britain space cruiser, actually.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I could see that. I could see a Cosmic Toy Man figure in that style.
Yes. With a plastic helmet. Yeah.
It's welcome to the Food and Snack Show. Mine's Hawaii P 30 Pro. There we go. I'm wondering if Andy's any good at snooker now. A bit like Dennis Taylor.
It's a kind of magic.
Action Jacks had them. There we go. My problem with filming on my phone is the sound quality, and the Osmo is a nightmare to sync to my Mac. Osmo?
You've got DJI Osmo Pocket, probably.
Right, okay.
Now, they're very interesting because I have looked at those as well. But again, for me, it's the lack of the zoom option or the sort of lens option is a challenge on those. But they are incredibly good at what they do.
Mark, I've seen your videos and you wear a microphone. So why is that microphone not linked to your phone?
I certainly have found that to help massively as compared with having a wired mic down here. Because if you have this any sort of distance away from you when you're doing video, you often get out of sync.
Right, okay.
So best to have it as close as you possibly can, I find.
Okay, I've not had that problem before. Although you can put yourself back into sync in editing suite.
Exactly. Well, I do. That's exactly what I do. So if I'm sitting here and filming something on my OBS, there's a little few microseconds I put in to sync up my video with my audio. But my phone's
we were back
better.
on toys for all of 3 minutes, and now we're on to editing and video and filming.
Yeah, we went back on toys. It's fine. Oh yes. So yeah.
What was your favourite McDonald's toy? I know the answer to this straight away, but I'll let Andy go first.
I'm not sure I ever really collected the McDonald's toys.
I've got two ones, which were my favourite.
I got Thunderbirds ones after. Oh no, Thunderbirds ones were KFC actually that I got. So yeah, I didn't really have any McDonald's toys, I'm afraid.
McDonald's toys.
I feel cold just looking out the window, bruh.
Right. Present. And everyone who's watching me type out now, they know exactly what I'm going to throw up. And it's these.
Were they Mighty Max ones? Yes, they were.
No, they're Transformers.
Oh, they're Transformers. Okay.
Yeah, so it's like this one here is a Big Mac. We only got 4 in the UK, which actually are these ones here. We got the Big Mac, we got the milkshake, we got the fries, and we got this little box down here. And then a few years later, they did the transforming dinosaur ones.
Oh, I bet they were styrofoam boxes, weren't they? Oh,
well, that was a styrofoam box, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, quarter pounder.
Texture. Oh, texture. Oh,
yeah. There we go. Them's them. Ignore. We didn't get that one, and we also didn't get that one. We got another one. We got the milkshake in its place. But yeah, those were my favourite, and then the other ones. What would they be? They were like dragons that you could interconnect.
Oh.
Connecting dragons? No, not How to Train Your Dragon. No. I'm trying to think what they would have been called.
There was one in that list. There was one in that list that mentioned fairies and dragons.
No, it wasn't that. There weren't dragons. There were monsters. And does anyone in the chat manage to tell me what they are?
Why don't you put Happy Meal in or something to see if that will give you something? I'm scrolling down. Hang on. There's a lot of chat.
Happy Meal monsters.
Nugget buddies, Dave says.
Changeables. There they are. Mix 'em up monsters. There you are.
Mix 'em up monsters. Okay.
And I have featured them actually in a video before. Those are the ones, and you have the body in the middle, the tail and the head you could pull off and whatnot, and you could mix them about. And yeah, I loved those as a kid. And because of what they were made out of, they were like a hard rubber. Play with them in the bath and everything as well. So that's the kind of age I was. Yeah,
I always liked a toy that
9.
I always liked a toy that you could play with in the bath, actually, because I used to play with my die-cast Star Wars toys in the bath because they were plastic and die-cast; they wouldn't rust.
It's like Playmobil meets Battle of the Planets. I like that shout. I like that. Hence, what you was talking about, 7's Arc 7.
Yeah.
Have they made any Starfleet figures? Nema Studios have.
Yes, there were some very, very odd-looking things produced in Japan as well, but nothing like a sort of, nothing major produced for them, particularly apart from, as you say, Nema. So,
Spider Father. What's Spider Father? Showed me TMNT Micro Mutants playsets, and now I'm minded to try and get hold of some. I haven't seen any of those.
I think Spider Father's a channel owner, I believe.
Oh, right. Okay, fair enough. Nugget Buddies. Yeah, I liked I like the Halloween ones that they did. There was also, I don't know if you remember the Fry Guys. Do you remember the Fry Guys? They're essentially like a pom-pom with eyes, and they just had 2 legs that they walked on. And they did a series of 4 figures of those, and one of them was on stilts and had a clown's mask and everything. That was quite cool.
That just reminded me of those things where you'd get, it would be a little character like that with a sort of tail thing, and you'd peel off a sticky bit and stick them on wherever.
Oh, okay. I don't know what that
is.
is.
In like touristy places, like a tourist shop kind of thing. I don't know.
McDonald's Fry Guys. I've got to show you the Fry Guys, haven't I? And you'll see, as soon as you see him, you'll be like, I know what he means by pom pom now. There you are.
Oh yeah.
Literally are pom poms with eyes and legs.
Yeah.
Those are the toys that I remember. And you see how they all have a hole in the top of the head. They had a piece that came down over the top and covered the face, and there they are. And that's the clown one there at the back. That was
right. It's good. It'll have little masks almost, yeah.
Yeah. We only got 4 of them. I'm trying to remember which 4 it was. We got the clown. We got the yellow one with the pink roller boots. I think we got the purple one back there with the headband. And I want to say this red one at the back with that parrot on his head.
Do me a favour. Can you search for Frosty's glove puppet?
Frosties or Kellogg's?
Frosties.
Are we talking about the It's Great Tiger or the Great Tiger?
Yeah, it's great.
Frosty's Tony the Tiger.
Yeah, that might narrow it down. Yeah, there's too many snowmen in there, aren't there? Now, what is it that I'm thinking of? No, this was I think it looked like a dragon or something. That's I think the one I'm thinking of.
Well, it won't be Tony the Tiger then, will it?
No, it was because it was like a send away thing from a Frosty's box, I think. Unless I'm completely crossing my wires. It's entirely possible.
Let me just try some. Kellogg's Dragon glove puppet. Any of them?
If we were having had tubes for eyes or something. Maybe it was one that it had instructions to make or something. I don't know.
Oh, I used to love Ricicles.
Ricicles.
Not Cosmic Bubbles. I was always into Cosmic.
I'm going to say, yeah.
It was my favourite cereal was Ricicles.
Perhaps I'm misremembering. Maybe it was just one they had that you got some instructions to make on the packet or something.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Certainly not coming up there anyway.
No, don't worry.
Oh well. Ziso likes to take NECA figures in the back.
Yeah.
He likes to give them a hot bath so that they can move without breaking.
Yes.
How to Train Your Dragon. Have you seen the live version? No, because it doesn't come out until next June. I've seen the trailer for it. Though,
Yeah,
if that's what you mean.
I've seen a snippet of it. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks all right. Yeah. Spider Father was our guest on Sunday. There we go. Right, okay, I must watch it. I must watch it. Yes, that's horrifying. I used a Rode mic on my phone until I broke the sound port. Ah, fair enough. Invested in a DJI 3, but I have a nightmare getting the videos into iMovie to edit. See, CapCut's your thing, mate. Go for CapCut. It's free. At least, well, most of it's free. There are some paid for elements, but
that's always the way of it, though.
Yeah. I think I had a Fraggle Rock McDonald's toys.
Is
they do Fraggle Rock.
Is it much of a collectibles market for things that came with cereals and stuff then? I mean, I get the McDonald's probably is, isn't it? But
there is. I don't know if it's a sort of like pricey thing. There's, as in super pricey anyway.
Bye,
good night, TJ. Take care. Bathroom figures. That's horrible. What's wrong with bathroom figures? Nothing wrong with playing with anything in the bath. Don't be a stranger. Are you going to catch up with Ed? I spoke to him yesterday. I don't think much has happened since then.
Fine.
Hopefully, we're going to do something next week as well. We'll try and nail down a day or a few hours where we can do a live stream and build something. That sound good, Andy? You never know. We might all get something for Christmas that we can build. Take care, TJ. And hopefully Eddie will join us on that as well. I caught the Pickford's removal guy stealing McDonald's TY toys and my trainers.
Oh.
When we moved in 2007, they ended up having a fight in that. Really? Wow. Got my money back from the move. That's ridiculous, isn't it?
That's awful. That's going to be one of the most stressful things you can be doing in your life when you get that on top of it. Are you joking? Yeah. Jesus.
And not only that, but so they go from your possession into the back of their van, back into your possession, and they can't realise that you know who it is that's nicked them.
No, it sounded like it was happened right then and there, like they were putting it in their back pocket. I mean, good Lord.
I vaguely remember a sweet surprise bag where the plastic bag doubled as a puppet. Could that be it, Andy?
No, I'm. In my head, it's definitely associated with maybe. Oh, you know what? Maybe it's as daft as it was something that you cut out of the back of a packet and then you formed it into something else. Maybe I might be crossing my streamers.
That kind of rings a bell. They used to do that.
Yeah.
But I remember those surprise sweet bag things. You get a picture to colour. One of those silly bracelets with sweets as the beads.
Yeah. That's a thing, definitely.
Popper or something that you'd play with. I remember those bags well. You should have Cobra Kai. I should have Cobra Kai. Okay. Or I should watch Cobra Kai. I've never seen Cobra Kai. But then again, I've never watched Karate Kid.
Never watched
Karate Kid. No, I've never watched it.
Never watched Karate. Dude.
I've never watched it.
Wax on, wax off.
I know.
Paint the fence.
I know. And I kind of feel like I kind of feel like it's one of those films now that if I was to watch it, I wouldn't get it because I'm not of the right age. I think I'm past that now. As we've discussed.
But I think like Skeleton Crew, you would probably find that you could wrap your head around it conceptually. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
I think so. I'm not sure some of the sequels were quite as strong, but the relationships are still interesting in it, you see. So
I will get my 3D printer up and running.
Oh, sacrilege.
Is it?
Burn the heretic. Burn him.
Only if you can tell.
Oh, they'll tell.
Well, he has for the Cosmic Toyman. Have what? What have I for the Cosmic Toyman? Joe.
We don't get it, Joe. We not understand. We not understand it.
No.
You must think Russian. Think Russian.
Have you got anything coming up this week, Andy?
I have. Tomorrow, you may gorge yourselves upon the totality of my Terrorhawks collection.
Totality.
Yes.
I love the use of that word. Totality.
Totality. Yep. So you've got I've got chips, I've got figures, I've got that's about it actually. But yeah, quite a few of those.
Jerry Anderson's Poppy Bandai Terrorhawks toys are nesting in my channel.
Oh,
That's the name of the video.
I did hawks and nesting, you'll see.
Yes. I do love the thumbnails that you came up with for the Star Trek stuff.
I know you do.
Those Trek toy.
But the irony is, though, that my one slight goof there was that the ones that come on stands come on black stands.
Yeah.
So I felt compelled to include the stands for no apparent reason because they're barely visible. But anyway, you know.
But no, they do look really good. They do stand out
quite nicely. Which is, if you know what the next generation displays look like, you're immediately drawn to that. You see, that's kind of what
you've got that which creates a border.
Exactly.
You've got something nice and simple for where you've put your writing in, you know, your title, and then a very vibrant white on the black, so it just stands out so well.
Yeah,
that's really, really good. Is that?
That's
why it stands out. Have you found
a template? You know,
sorry, have you found that the viewing figures, have been better for them than normal?
I kind of anticipated that anyway, because given that it's Trek, I kind of thought that, you know, people would probably go and have a look at it. But yeah, I mean, the average ones are doing about 400, 500 within, you know, a week and a bit. The one I did of the two Enterprises is nearly over 2,000 already, if it isn't already. Right. So that one
is that the one which I hosted?
That is the one that you hosted, sir. Yes.
That could be why.
That could be why. How many sentences did you actually write in the chat of over the duration of the video?
I don't think that makes a blind bit of difference, to be fair. But
no, it's an interesting experiment because it's quite a. I'm trying to do it in a very sort of coherent fashion. So if you sort of follow along, I'm going chronologically, so it's supposed to make a certain degree of sense, you know, in that respect. So we'll see. But yeah, it's been fun to do it, and I've tried to get my sort of surroundings a little bit more coherent now. The funny thing about that is, and I haven't done a video on this yet, but I changed the doors on my IKEA Billy bookcases, so they're more glass. I can't remember what the type is now. Merry
Christmas, Joe.
Merry Christmas. And those units, those glass doors, came with a sort of white and black sturdy inserts that you can sort of blank them off if you want to make them look like solid doors. So I thought, I can use them. So I chopped them up to make a sort of a cage around my shooting area, and just recycled them. So I thought that's about making full use of the new doors now, every which way I can. So I thought it would have been rude not to. So yeah, it's worked out well. I need to do what Ed does though. Well, what you do as well, actually, and put some cloth, you know, sort of fully draped cloths or something over it, you know. So I was kind of doing that before, but with paper. And I think you're right. I think it works because I'm largely taking a bright white ship off a black background. So when I'm doing the thumbnails, I can edit that fairly easily.
Yes.
But actually, a different color again would be of use, arguably. But you know, see how we get on.
It's now time for port.
I bought some port the other day for this time of year. Yes.
Do you not find it strange that you can get port, but you cannot get starboard? It's so strange.
If you say so, Gareth. If you say so.
Well, have you ever bought a bottle of starboard?
No. We all see where you're going with that, though. It's okay.
Well, I just thought I thought it tied in quite nicely to what we were discussing.
Yeah, well, I did call. What was it that I called Diamond slept on? They got their port and their starboard lights incorrect.
Is that right?
They had green where they should have had red, and red where they should have had green, basically. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't think it makes a blind bit of difference in space, quite frankly, but
No, because they could just flip themselves upside down, couldn't they? And who's to say that they're upside down?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's odd that all the spaceships always meet each other angled in exactly the right way, so everybody's feet are at the same sort of level as everyone else's, if you see what I mean. It's kind of funny how that happens. Yeah. We won't catch the Expanse doing that. The Expanse just spins all over the place.
The Expanse, I think I watched the first episode and didn't get any further. I really need to give that another go.
Yes, it's incredibly good with its physics and just generally good as well. As a hard science fiction show, it's hard to beat, I think.
We're currently watching through Silo. In fact, we've just caught up. We're up to date with Silo on Apple TV.
I know of it. I need to get one of those 3 months. In fact, I think I've got an offer now. I can get like 3 months of Apple TV just so I can catch up on stuff like Foundation.
Yeah.
Because it's so annoying. I hate this about them. I've got Netflix, I've got Paramount, I've got Prime, and I still can't watch all the stuff I want to watch. It's like I think got my discs again. Damn it! It's just cheaper.
If I was starting now with the streaming, I would be cycling. I'd use up all my free trials, and then for a month or two I'd do Netflix, and then another month or two I'd do Amazon, another month or two Apple, and I would just cycle my way through them like that.
Yeah. I mean, it is starting to get to the point where they're becoming that expensive per month that actually you know people are going to start cutting back. I think Netflix is already starting to struggle a little bit with it.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
So I mean, it may well be the market is oversaturated now because people literally can't keep up. There are only so many hours in the day after all. So,
although at the moment we're watching through Silo, and then I'm also watching Kamen Rider Kuga, which I had to buy the Blu-ray of that because it's not on anything.
Well, and that's the other thing as well. It's like, there are things that go on, like Babylon 5 is a so-and-so for that. Trying to find that on streaming can be incredibly difficult. I think it's back on Prime now, but then Prime things depending on whether it's UK or US as well. So you'll see a thing saying it's back on Prime, and actually you find it isn't in your country, and it's like, what?
There's always certain things that I would have physical of, and I imagine for you, Babylon 5 is one of those things you'd always have physical of. Yeah. Do you have the Star Trek series on physical as well?
Interestingly, I never. Well, I collected Star Trek: The Next Generation on video.
VHS.
2 or 3 episodes at a time, religiously, from W.H. Smith's in North Wales. They knew me, my face. They knew exactly what I was coming in for, and they always had some set aside for me, bless them.
Okay.
That was tedious as all hell, but it does make an incredibly long row of VHS tapes as well. And I had to do it from series 4 onwards because 1 to 3 were on BBC, and then Sky pinched them, and I didn't have Sky.
Right.
So I then had to transition into buying the tapes, basically. But to answer your question, probably about the time I might have started thinking about doing it, they came on streaming. And it was like, well, that's a bit of a no-brainer because there are hundreds and hundreds of episodes there, and the box sets were really expensive for the DVDs as well. And it was like £80 per season. There was
per season, yes.
And it's like, wow, that's
although
money.
Now for not much more than £100, in fact, probably less than £100, you can get all of Next Gen and all of Voyager and all of DS9, and I think Enterprise you can get for something like 60. So
fewer seasons, so yeah.
So I think they're at that point now where they're definitely worth picking up because it'll save you being in that situation of, I want to watch through such and such again.
But then they'll do. But the thing is,
it's not on Netflix.
But it's on Netflix and on Paramount.
Right.
Paramount will always have them because
it'll always be on Paramount. Yeah.
So
Although, will it?
Well,
because Disney have just lost one of the Indiana Jones movies, haven't they? So
licensing is a tricky thing at the best of times, and but I mean, I do think there's a lot to be said
And a very Merry Christmas to you as well, Vicky.
The Goonies, good Avatar.
But
yeah, it's a tricky thing knowing which way to jump, because then they'll release it on Blu-ray.
Yeah, well, I think they already are on Blu-ray.
And then they'll upscale it or something, or redo it, and they'll revamp the ships and blah 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 blah. You know, it's just you're damned if you do, damned if you don't, basically, aren't you? It's just, you know.
I mean, Doctor Who, I've done on every format that it's been available on.
Yeah,
I did all the VHS, then I did all the DVD, and now I'm doing the same with Blu-ray. And I was very reluctant with Blu-ray. And it wasn't until I saw the aftermarket prices of the box sets once they'd sold out, because they were all limited edition.
Oh, right.
That I was like, oh, I should have got them. Should have got them. And then I landed on the first 3 secondhand at a reasonable price. So I was like, yeah, okay, I'll do it now then.
Yeah.
And I will keep up every time they release one. I will buy one.
One thing I should do, actually, which I haven't done, is I've got Farscape on DVD, and they only released
Merry Christmas Day.
Merry Christmas Day. They only released. They only released them a few episodes to quite a chunky box, even though they were DVDs. So they take up about 3 shelves of a narrowish bookcase. So I really ought to just get the Blu-ray version of Farscape, because it'll only be about this big,
Yes.
just for space-saving purposes. You know?
It was the same with Babylon 5, wasn't it?
Well, yes and no, but the Babylon 5 was still quite compact.
Yeah,
Farscape. It was 5 fairly chunky boxes. But the nice thing about the Farscape one is that the ends of the DVDs form a long picture of the crew as they go along on a shelf row, which is nice, you know. So it was nicely done art-wise on them.
Yes, of course it counts as a Christmas toy. I love those little Gundams you've got there, though. They're cool. They are Gundam, aren't they?
That looks like a Sonic robot, does it?
Love you too, Dave. Nice.
Steve has joined late in the party.
He certainly has. But I think we're about to call it quits now, Stephen. You've finally turned up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What sort of time do you call this?
I know. It's
8:10
nearly.
It is nearly. It's time for a cup of tea.
Yeah, definitely. Well,
with a biscuit.
Tea now.
With a biscuit. with a biscuit or a cake or a chocolate bar.
We didn't do cake, did we? I quite like cake as well. Oh, I'm a cake man. I've got presents to wrap, actually.
Yeah, I was well, actually. Yeah.
That's my task once we've done. They might not be as neat as they should be, but they'll be wrapped.
They'll be wrapped. Marvellous.
Yeah. So you've got that coming up. I don't think I've got anything coming up at the moment.
Tuesday, presumably, won't you?
There will be. There will be a video next Tuesday, but all that's filmed of that so far is the delivery in bits because I kept missing something. There is a parcel from Japan to show. There's only 2 things in it. And I'd love to tell you what they are because they are fantastic pieces, but I'll save it for the video. And they're not Japanese.
Okay.
They're not Japanese. They've come from Japan, but they're not Japanese. And from last week's video, where I build up the little Kamen Rider figures, the spotlights. Yeah. That'll get released as its own spotlight. I think I've set that to go on Friday or something like that. So apart from that, that's it.
Yeah, I think my last one before Christmas is going to be the Excelsior, Diamond Select Excelsior. That's a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Shiny.
Nice. Yeah, there was this Japanese firm. They had, I don't know if I told you, they had the DS9.
Oh, did they?
The Playmates DS9 still sealed. And I was like, oh, should I order it? Should I order it for him? Because I saw the price of it and I saw how much that guy was asking at.
I saw one in that toy.
NEC.
Is it NEC? Yeah.
Yeah. And it was like half of what he was asking.
Wow.
So I was like, well, obviously there's actually a room for a profit there at the very least. But then I was like, it's a big box and it's coming from Japan.
But Japan postage is weird, though. It never seems to be as much as I would think it would be.
No, but it's still a chunk.
Oh, yeah.
It's still a chunk. It would still,
yeah, I mean.
Yeah, it would still be a good 30 odd quid. Add that to the price of it, it's going to get stuck at, well, it's going to get stopped at customs. And then you're going to get an extra 30, 40 quid added on top. And I was like,
oh, I see.
Yeah, we're almost getting to the same price that guy was charging now.
They are strange toys in the sense that because we just didn't seem to get them in any volume over here. The only way you can really get them is from America often, and the postage does make it incredibly prohibitive. Unfortunately, cheaper when they're loose, of course. But
good night, Jumpy. Take care.
Night, Jumpy.
Yeah. I think it probably is time to say good night. Don't you think?
Yeah.
I think we've run his course.
It's good night from him.
Yeah. Shall we do Toy Me, Toy You?
No, we can't. That's copyrighted and trademarked. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't want to step on anyone's intellectual IP or anything. Yeah. What's that? This is something called Scope Dog. It's an early 90s anime.
Okay. Yeah. It looks like something I picked up, but I got a Zotom, but it's not. I don't think it's that. Similar colours.
I was hoping Andy was going to send me Truder as a Christmas present.
Were you? Hope on.
Well, tough. Right. Well, good night, everyone. Thanks for having us. We've been happy to have you. We'll catch you again after Christmas, probably.
Enjoy biscuits in moderation as part of a healthy, balanced diet.
That's as good as anything to go out
or
on.
Don't.
It's as good as anything to go out on. Good night, folks.